Issue 68. Sonic questions Porker on why he doesn't know about the Metalix plan already since he's been on Miracle Planet for a month. Ham, Sonic, and the Chaotix go to the Miracle Planet with the Omnivore powering down but keeping on standby in case he's needed. Mighty says they need a plan, and Sonic dismisses plans as being for wimps even though he makes them all the time as the leader of the Freedom Fighters. Then he says Porker's hurt his arm as he's holding it. Sonic calls him Buddy, asking him to take a look after Porker says it's just a slight injury from when Sonic smashed two robots. I mean, it was sweet of Sonic to actually care enough to talk to him like that. Usually he's pretty dismissive of Porker. I guess it's because he's worried about him because he was stuck on Miracle Planet for a month. Of course, he was an infiltrator, as he reveals metal arms and punches Sonic off the chain, with Charmy grabbing him with his flight to save him. The only reason he's irritating is his dialogue from forced comedy. But so far, other than him teasing a friend once, he hasn't done anything really bad. After Sonic says in response to Charmy saving his life that he's the most irritating person he's ever met, and I wonder what's wrong with Charmy that makes him not feel hurt that people keep insulting him like that all the time. The Porker robot tries to generate a death ray that I have to wonder why he hasn't tried to generate way earlier. And Sonic damages his blaster to cause a power overload, with Charmy flying Sonic away. Mighty uses the link rings that only don't come out of nowhere because they were seen in Knuckles Chaotix the game, and I guess it comes with them being the Special Zone Guardians, which makes it more believable than in Pender's Knuckles Chaotix special. And those link rings let him swing Vector to punch the robot and land safely on the chain, knocking the robot away as he explodes. Mighty is smart again, saying that it took all of them to destroy one Metalix and they're facing a planet full of them. Sonic says that if they're scared, they can go back. Espio says he likes Knuckles better, actually lampshading that this Sonic's a jerk. And Sonic condescendingly calls Knuckles a nice kid and lies that he taught him everything he knows. In the empty-seeming Metalix base, Sonic finds Porker tied up and calls him Old Buddy, asking if he's okay. And Porker warns him that they're running out of time and the Metalix will be back soon. They show up right as Sonic unties him, and the story ends with Emperor Metalix explaining that they've traveled into the past of Mobius and changed everything. In the next story, once the island lands on the mountain, the shockwave is felt all over the island and Knuckles falls over, with Zachary and the robot saying that if the mecha hadn't been damaged, he could have flown to safety. While the island is stuck on a mountaintop, precariously balancing on it by its base, after Zachary threatens to kill Knuckles as his last act, Knuckles easily gets him out of his armor, and a tremor hits the island, making Zachary fall off the island like Finivus did once, with Knuckles inexplicably being worried. Quite a contrast to Archie, where Knuckles threw Finivus off his island himself. Knuckles arbitrarily thinks that he'll stay on his island until the end, rather than planning to leave it and help fight Eggman to be useful. Then he gets an idea by seeing the Mecha Head, does something in Haven, and the Robot Head acts the same way as Master Emerald, with Knuckles saying that he can feel the island start to move, lifting up into the sky. In the next story, we see Amy miss a snowball aimed for Sonic and hit Johnny instead, with Knuckles smiling as they're spending the end of the year in Ice Cap Zone. Amy tries to kiss Sonic again, and Sonic insults her before running away, wanting to race Johnny and Knuckles to the edge of the region. Wouldn't that be kind of a one-sided race? I'm surprised Knuckles is just happily joining in on the fun social activity when he's a loner who keeps telling Sonic to get off his island. That's out of character. And I guess Sonic's gonna take it slow to avoid winning the race instantly and defeating the point, but Knuckles should really not be thinking he'd win a race against Sonic. He should just be assuming Sonic's going easy on him, and thus there being no pride in it. Suddenly, Amy gets threatened by a Snowneck robot that was inexplicably programmed to talk really stupidly when you think Eggman would want to make his robots intimidating. Also, how to get past the force field. I wonder if I can make a running gag out of this. He tries to fire an ice blast at Amy, and another one of them freezes Amy's bow, which she doesn't always keep strapped to her back just in case for some reason. She gets to the edge of a cliff, and the robot makes an ice slide to speed him along, which is creative. Predictably, Amy tricks him into falling off the cliff, and Sonic runs over to her seconds later from hearing an explosion. Amy tricks Sonic into coming close enough for her to kiss him on the cheek. And he actually smirks a little with his arms crossed rather than acting in an overly exaggerated negative way, which I was impressed by. I guess he was impressed too. And for some reason, Amy thinks that him saying he thought she was in danger was him saying the sweetest things. Although, I guess it's sweet to her because it's implying that he was worried about her. She really needs to get a boyfriend so she can learn what the actual sweetest things are. And what an actually nice person would treat her like. The first two stories were by Nigel Kitchen. Predictably, Porker turns out to be not him, but a robot, which is destroyed, and the heroes all go up to Miracle Planet with Sonic freeing Porker, and they get threatened by the Metalics, who explain that they went back in time to make Mobius their own. That should be interesting. In the second story, Zachary falls off the island out of the safety of his mecha thanks to Knuckles, and Knuckles uses the robot head as Master Emerald to make the island rise up. Well, that's going to be an amusing thing to have continuity nods to, having that robot head in the Emerald pedestal. And in the last story by Lou Stringer, while Knuckles is being happy and social for once in Ice Cap Zone with Sonic, Amy's boat gets frozen by a robot left behind by Eggman because she doesn't always keep it strapped to her back for some reason. So she has to trick it into running off a cliff, defeating it with cleverness. That's cool, but it goes to show you how overshadowed by the Geary stew Sonic's friends are when entire stories are dedicated to his friends defeating just one robot. Or just a few robots.